Thank you for tuning in today. It's my pleasure to be with you. My name is Angela, and I am the Rose Heart Shaman. I take sessions from people via Zoom, over the phone, or in person in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, during evenings and on the weekends. If you are interested in a session with me or a reading, feel free to visit me at roseheartshaman.com or email me at roseheartshaman@yahoo.com. This is part 2 of the Cross of Christ. As part 1, I went into a great amount of detail regarding a download I received in 2004 from my spirit guides and angels regarding alternate meanings of the cross. And at that time, I did not know what to do with this information. Since I have become a shaman, and really within the last month, a lot has been going on with communicating with archangels. And so they are encouraging me to revisit. They actually showed me this. They're reminding me I took these notes. And they're saying now is the time to get this message out there because, again, we're building upon a new language. And they want us as humans to evolve and relate to things in new ways. So I want to caution those of you who are going to hear these words verbatim that some of this is provocative. Some of this is going to challenge your traditional based thinking. And some of it might make you a little bit uneasy. So I'm not here to force you into a belief system you're not ready for. I'm only here to share information. We are all here to grow and connect and learn from each other. So if there's something in here that you like, move it forward, incorporate it, and take it forward. If there's something in here you don't like, then just move it off to the side. I'm not here to judge you, and I am not here to criticize you for having a different opinion. I love the fact that we are all different because I know we're all different for a reason, and I grow from you just as you, hopefully, are growing from me. So I'm going to dive into this right now. Thank you for tuning in. Here we go. So they showed me the north part of the cross is about our life, and the south part is about death. They also showed me recently that north and south aligns with the life experience of a human, being divinely inspired from the heavens and also grounded to the earth. But it is a full experience from birth to death, okay? And on the right and left sides, or the left, they're actually supposed to be east and west. So north, south, east, and west. And on the east and west side, we're looking at morality or immorality versus free will, right? What is our divine birthright is free will. That is the greatest gift of God, besides love, by the way. That's my own opinion. And I do have another alternate reading about that. But that's the whole point, is how do we align our free will with the morality that we are like ingrained with? We are given a consciousness that lives in the center. That's where Christ is. But it's about incorporating all of this into one center. And that center can be a pretty large circle, okay? It's not about being one-sided or the other. But this is the actual transcript. Jesus, he loves us profoundly and is the center of our lives. He guides us through life and into death and measures with us our balance between morality and free will. Our journey through life is the process by which we are free to choose our path, and God, our center, provides the moral compass via our consciousness to guide us. It is of our choosing and measure of heart, mind, and will that ultimately judges us in the end. I'm going to read that one more time. It is of our choosing and measure of heart, mind, and will that ultimately judges us in the end. God is with us, does not interfere with our decisions, yet reminds us through our consciousness that he is there. He will not interfere with mankind's free will on earth. Each individual is responsible for his or her free will. God gives us the gift of life, and as early as being a toddler, we begin to demonstrate our free will. It is God's gift, one of many to mankind, humankind. It is the ultimate measure by which we are judged. What you do with your life and how you live your life is up to you. God does not interfere with your decisions or your place in the universe. He loves all his children and expects them to be free to become who they are. Let me read that again. God does not interfere with your decisions or your place in the universe. He loves all of his children and expects them to be free to become who they are. The choices we make are part of his free will to set us free. Remember that Jesus' time on earth, he loved the poor, downtrodden, vulnerable, and outcasts of society. He shared his love and message of God's grace with them, but he did not impose his will upon them. People self-destructed on their own. In other words, here's where it gets a little provocative, okay? In other words, if a woman today has an abortion, society should not pose its will on her for making that choice, since it will be weighed upon her judgment day. God creates all people in his image or hers, gays, lesbians, men, women, children of all colors, creeds, and religions. He does speak to them in ways of better understanding in order to live about their societies. All people have a place in the universe, and only God may hold the answer. It may be as simple as teaching a bigot a lesson about tolerance, or a criminal a lesson about repentance. We do not know the master plan, but he carefully cultivates us, and in the end, or throughout, you pray that God's will be done through you, and it shall be done. And you, in those instances, have become a vessel of God's works. God understands the pain and sorrow of all people and works through others, to help ease their suffering. And that includes you, by the way. So much is changing in the world that God is feverishly working to maintain balance in the universe. The thumb, remember that? His plan for you is not yet known to us, other than to say you are slowly being fed the fuel to change your future and the path you are on. What that means for now, we cannot say. Keep praying for guidance and help, for this has been helpful to you in understanding your place in the universe. You will reach your dreams if you continue to meditate and love others as God has loved you. This is just a footnote to the reading that I shared with you from 2004. And that was, almost 20 years ago. It's hard to believe. I was in a completely different place. I had a toddler at home, and I was in a job that made me miserable. And, I wasn't manifesting what I wanted in my life. But, so we all have the power to change and co-create. I have since learned the dual nature of God. And it was gently pointed out in the part where we've all heard the term God creates us in his image, but yet it's only his image, but yet there's women, right? So we know that there's a dual nature. I understand it now. Again, that duality is coming into balance, baby. It's all converging because we are starting to open up to these new and wonderful ideas, frequencies, and people are ready for an open-minded way of connecting to this new language. I have also learned a little bit more about Judgment Day. And it's not what you think it is. At that time, 20 years ago, they were meeting me where I was, okay? So when they showed me the image last week, they reminded me I had to dust it off. They evolved the image in another way for me to understand, and I pointed them both out to you about north and south, but also life and death, and how it's actually all one, it's all interconnected. So one more thing that I have evolved on, in addition to the duality of God, they've also shown me what they really mean by Judgment Day. You're not ready for that yet. I think this was enough for one day. But as time goes on, we'll continue to work together and share ideas. Thank you for watching the footnote to this. We all are growing and changing and evolving, and that is the point of the human experience. Have a great day, everyone. Until next time, take care.